Egmont Key has been used by indigenous American people for thousands of years, as far as we know. Most tribal members had not remembered Egmont Key. It was such a dark time that people only spoke of it as the dark place.
My name is Rita Youngman. I'm a member of the Seminole Tribe of Florida. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and most of the time it was church, and then we would work, and we picked oranges for a living. I would go out to the groves with them, and we would bring extra back for the tribe to give away to people at church. We already knew that this land is ours. The land listens to us when we pray, and the Lord listens to us. Not that He doesn't listen to everybody, but especially us, because we've been here for a while. We've been praying Him, praising and honoring Him. So we get to have that responsibility to keep that going on, to be responsible for the people that are here, who come here, to make them feel welcome.
The important thing to understand is that the Seminole Tribe are the people of Florida. They are descendants of the people who have been in Florida for thousands of years. Going back 12, 14,000, the first people who came here. And people have come here ever since. You had various groups that came up that the Spanish gave them names, but realistically were towns, families, clans, and a broader society. This society was devastated by Spanish colonization. When the Spanish came in, between diseases, wars, and slave raids, 9 out of 10 people living in Florida between European contact and 1700 were gone. In 1857, the last stage of the Seminole War is in full swing. Originally, when they started taking Seminole prisoners, they were holding them at Fort Myers. This proved a problem because Fort Myers was very easy for Seminole prisoners to escape from. They knew the land, they knew the territory, they knew where to go. In order to end this, the U.S. Army came to Egmont Key. They got the money together and they built a camp specifically to hold the Seminole prisoners. The women, the children, the elders were brought here, held in a place where they could not escape from because the waters were too dangerous to swim, under armed guard. We actually don't have much information on what they endured because the records from here were very minimal. What we have to go by is the account of Polly Parker, the one woman who was held here and managed to escape before being taken to Oklahoma. She referred to being held under watch by armed guards, constantly being observed. There was a mix at the time of America trying to treat people well because they wanted to convince them to leave, and tribal members have referred to it as a concentration camp.
You know, I wrote that song, Polly Parker. They said there was an island over here that she landed at. I had no idea it was Egmont Key. I had never even heard of Egmont Key until they were making the voyage over here. Would you like to go? And I'm like, yes, when is it? When I came to the island, man, it was overwhelming for me because there was a lot of sadness here, but there was also some other things that I was feeling, such as being proud of the people who didn't leave. Does that make sense? The people that got drug away from their families. That's so sad. And some of the stories I heard with people eating glass to kill themselves or things like that.
This is part of history that Florida generally didn't talk about. Even at the time, the war was incredibly unpopular. Removal of the Seminole outside of the southern U.S. was incredibly unpopular. Just bringing this together and everyone getting to learn the history of what happened here create a real sense of survival. There's a lot of pride within tribal members at this story of struggle and survival. It's always important to keep history preserved. With Egmont Key, we're fighting an uphill battle. Not everybody agrees that it should be preserved. It was a place where horrible things happened. The most important thing, though, is the story needs to be preserved. The legacy, the history, even if a hurricane comes through and washes the island away, future generations will know this story, be able to look back on it, and find out.
To preserve this place, right now I guess it's up to the United States government to do that. For me, you know, if you want to preserve it, you better preserve all of Florida. There's a thing called forgiveness. right? And I told you we're in charge of the land. And that comes with that responsibility. You have to be able to forgive, not to forget.
Tiny, what